People say a lot about our democracy.
It's not over. We're going to expect more.
Some say what they know.
Is it that we deceive ourselves or not willing to discuss our differences?
Others say what they think is right.
The political will to effect that law is what we are lacking.
It takes 3 persons to eat 15 naira bread. I disagree with you on that.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Immediately the president won election, he went to Britain. He has not gone to River State. He has not gone to Benue. He has not gone to this country.
Join Kingsley Welenda Wali every Saturday on this station from 11 a.m. to 12.
My name is Kingsley Welenda Wali.
And the program is Democracy in Action on Today 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt.
I believe in you. Do you believe in me?
This is Our View as written by Kelechi Jeff Eme and read by Jennifer Netimakwali.
The relationship between peace and prosperity is linear, and the mutual inclusivity cannot be overemphasized. Prosperity of a community, city, state, or region is a function of the trending commercial and industrial activities within the defined area. Peace develops commerce and industry, which in turn delivers prosperity to hardworking individuals. The enjoyment of the benefits of peace is not restricted to race, religion, political party affiliations, and other mundane considerations. The benefits are universal and entrenched in the unabridged liberty of the individual to provide and receive services. The question is whether the city of Port Harcourt and the entire River State have attained the peaceful pedestal that will engender the enjoyment of the fruits associated with commerce and industry. In recent times, the city of Port Harcourt and the state of Rivers have been associated with crimes, deaths, kidnappings, and outright terrorist attacks on men and women in the armed services. We must understand that Port Harcourt is the metropolitan center and business nerve of the entire Niger Delta region. It is also the oil capital of Nigeria and, to an extent, sub-Saharan Africa. The lingering association of Port Harcourt with the stated crimes has continued to deter the economic development of the city and the zone. It's irrelevant whether the alleged crimes are real or perceived. The fact is the prosperity that comes with commerce and industry is denied the people because of reported breakdown of law and order in the state. We need to start by defining the road to peace in Port Harcourt and the Niger Delta region. Every citizen and inhabitant of the region must see him or herself as a principal contributor to the peace and mutual coexistence. While political party affiliation is important in building a sustainable democratic and administrative structure in the region, it must be properly situated as an integral part of peace building for economic and industrial development. The political leaders on all sides must realize that development does not take place in a vacuum. They can oxygenate peace by showing in words and deeds that they are united in the peaceful development of Port Harcourt City, River State, and the Niger Delta region. The citizens will embrace peace for economic prosperity when they see their political leaders rallying together for peace. The economic cost of the apparent breakdown of law and order in River State cannot be quantified. For starters, the state should be as endowed as Lagos State, if not more, considering the available opportunities that abound in all sectors of the economy. What is needed is a scenario in which Lagos is the New York of Nigeria, while River State is the Texas of Nigeria. The Rivers people must retrieve its Texas status from wherever it has illegally domiciled. That is the path to economic and industrial development. However, peace is essential if we are to achieve this objective. The steady decline of the Port Harcourt harbor is a clear manifestation of the fruit of violence and crime. We must understand that as a people, it is our responsibility to build peace in our land and reap the fruit it brings. We cannot rely on others to do it for us because their economic interest might be infringed by a peaceful river state that is prospering. Why are the ships not berthing in Port Harcourt, Calabar, Koko, and Warri as previously envisaged? Piracy and blowing up of oil facilities is as good as playing into the hands of those hyping the breakdown of peace in our region. Whether it happens in Excavos, Forkaders or Kwaiboe terminals, the direct loser is the city of Port Harcourt. The Port Harcourt Harbour facilities can create enough jobs to absorb so many unemployed school graduates. We can achieve this through peace. When we embrace peace and it's visible to all, the detractors of Port Harcourt will not have a leg to stand on in blocking development to our city and state. Our people should understand that for every pipeline blown away by so-called agitators in guise of fighting for our zone sends a bad signal to investors. Such activities deprives us of revenue, pollutes our lands, and takes away the jobs of our people. Every agitation has a defined objective. Any activity that deprives you in guise of promoting you is akin to cutting your nose to spite your face. That is not what we want in River State. Let us agitate for what is our right while at the same time pursuing developmental agendas that will benefit our people. The late Kenule Sarawiwa achieved so much without firing a single shot at anybody. He and his group did not contribute to Ogoni pollution, but worked hard to ensure the world is focused on that. The lesson is for us to learn. Finally, let all of us embrace peace for rapid prosperity of our people through commercial and industrial development. This is the best time to do everything necessary to bring back commerce to Port Harcourt.
Bosa.
Bosa, bosa, bosa.
That was our view on democracy in action. As you are well aware, the program is about you, and you, not about us. But we just thought that it might be necessary for us to equally let you begin to have an idea of what we here are thinking about the issues we discuss. That's why we have our view, and while we listen to your view. This morning, I have with me here as our guest on Democracy in Action. Don't forget that my name is Kingsley Wanendawale, and my guest this morning is Onanebari Osila Oshoko Obele. I don't know whether you got all of that. It's almost like a paragraph, but for want of what how to interpret that or how to be able to relate to the name, I would just say you roll with Osila. Osila, good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to Democracy in Action.
Thank you.
So many things that some of her friends, especially me, will call her, comes from the world of finance, a former banker, and right now it's addicted to tax. Sometimes when I see her, I get a little bit scared because I worry that she's about to remind me or to tax me. She's been very much involved in taxation in the last couple of years, both the practical aspect of it and the theoretical aspect of it. As a speech just came into town yesterday to be part of this program from a tax conference in Abuja. You're welcome, madam.
Thank you.
And I do hope that in the course of this discussion, we'll be able to see how this your new addiction can be of help to our state and our region. Yeah, we're going to start off. Like I've always said, this state is ours. This region is ours. We have no other region or other state to turn to. So we must, as a people, begin to think of how to rescue us from us.
Okay.
For 5 weeks now, thereabout, here on Democracy in Action, we've been having what we call the peace conversation. The issue of violence in the state, violence in the region. Yes, we've pointed out all of those. We've done enough talking about violence. We've talked enough about disagreement, hatred and all of that. But you see, there's a trickle-down effect of all of those. But we're not going to lie down and die because we have violence, because we have issues. We must rise above those and see how we can rescue our state. As if I call you a development economist, I won't be off the mark, really. So as somebody with a financial background, do you think our state is going through what I would call economic autolysis, or like facing decay, or having issues with our economy? Is there a direct correlation between that and the issues that we've been having?
Many times, Kingsley. But first of all, let me correct something. I'm not passionate so much about tax. My passion is about citizens living up to their responsibility and making the society a better place. So if it is to pay your tax, you pay your tax. If it is to do your work diligently, you do your work diligently. If it's really to protect your state and your environment, you do it diligently. That is my passion, and I think we need to.
Okay, that's your passion with a bias for tax.
Yeah, so
that is more like your passion is that people should take up their responsibilities,
yes,
but especially they should pay their tax.
You need a tax for development.
Okay.
All right. So, on the issue on hand, it's sad, the violence, the everything, but I was thinking about the whole issue and everything, and we look at Lagos with so many thoughts have crossed my mind. Recently, most times I say we should deal with our reality. And like someone said 2 weeks ago, that reality, what we call reality, is an incomplete narrative. So you take the reality and walk with it to a preferred state. So what is our reality? We are not Lagos. You can't copy what you won't be able to. You shouldn't copy what you can't paste. So looking at Lagos State, what comes to me readily is that Lagos State is the Yoruba state. So they have one language.
More like they're very homogeneous.
Yeah. So, but then they are accommodating.
Culturally.
Everybody is welcome there. You get there, you really don't feel that you're not in yourself. Although deep down inside, they all know that you're not from there, but you can flow along. But in Rivers State, we have different languages. Even in Eleme, we even have 2. So as small as we are, we even have 2 languages. So you have that diversity. We need to recognize that. And then, with that in place, what are the structures? What do we have that projects? We have governments that come and go. We have rulers that come, that's all chiefs, traditional rulers that come and go. But the state remains. But what I have noticed over the period is that you hand it over to those people and allow them to do whatever they like. So each government that comes, each ruler that comes, does whatever the agenda is and they move away. So whoever comes next, there's no continuity. We don't have a blueprint for Rivers State. There is no day on social media, wherever, that you don't hear people abusing Tinubu and all those people. But Lagos is running. It's not like there's no, yes, fine. There's this thing.
Yeah, because Tinubu and Fashola are not the best of friends.
Yeah.
Fashola and Ambode are not the best of friends. But they don't really care about their relationship. They don't care about themselves, but they all care about Lagos State.
So things are going on. But in Rivers State, what do you find? Even now, we have a situation where naturally there should be continuity. But we find out that when the government continues what the predecessor left behind, is seen as a political, what they call it as, they taunting it. Yes, we're following up, we're good. And the other party says, if we're not good, why are you following up? Instead of us, because that is not an issue. That is what we should. And then
that's what government's all about, really. Government say continue, actually.
Continue. And then those things that are not okay, you address them. But you don't come out and all you're doing is destroying and abusing and talking evil and talking bad. So how do you concentrate and know what it is that you have? Because you have to deliver, you're called to serve the people. Not everybody can be a governor, not everybody can be a commissioner, not everybody has to be a politician, but we all need ourselves. The state, before you can be anything, you have to be from somewhere. If you destroy that place where you are from, then what becomes of you? We need to have that understanding, so that everything we're doing, we need to have that at the back of our mind. We need to preserve the place.
And the state is supreme.
Because when you speak, the fact that you do not agree with this person does not mean that everything the person does is wrong. And if you cannot even say it is good, then keep quiet. but don't destroy the place. Our problem is not in the hands of anybody. There's nobody anywhere, because your destiny most of the time is in your hands. But if you open your hands and the thing flies away, it is still in your hands. You have left your hands empty, and there's nothing, because whatever God finds in your hand will bless. So if there's nothing in your hand, there's nothing for him to bless. So we need to have that understanding, that foundation. So what we're saying is, who are the owners of River State? Who are the people speaking for River? Who are the people giving the directives?
Like who are the people who are to claim ownership?
Ownership. The business people, they just come because they don't know what the next government is going to do. They don't know what is going to come up with. So they just do their investment, short-term investment, and they're pulling the resources away. We have seen in this place a lot of the people that are here. Call them, most of these our leaders or something. Call them, ask them, where are your investments in River State? Show us. Point at your investments in River State. They can't point to them. Why? Because Lagos, River State, as far as they're concerned, is a low man's land. So they have their investments in Lagos, have their investments in Abuja, and then outside the country.
They're even having the investments now in Calabar.
Other places. So when you go to those places, you travel out and you look around, and someone will tell you, do you know that it is so person that owns this, that owns this? And I know they're Rivers people. And I come back and I'm asking someone, please, can you show me so person's property in this state? They're looking at me. It's not because I want, but I just want to know what investment those people have.
Yeah, because naturally, if you have something, if you have an interest, are you a stakeholder in the real sense of the word stakeholder? Because what we have now, people who sit down somewhere talk about stakeholding and stakeholdership, but they don't have anything that they will consider a stake. Because if you have a property, if you have an investment, a company or whatever that is doing well, or that is an ongoing concern in Port Harcourt, I'm not sure you sit down somewhere and plot violence, because you know that's likely going to trickle down and affect you, right?
Yeah. So we need.
But there's a line there. The problem is sometimes people will say, if I come and do Nabuzo, I've stolen government money.
People will always see. People were created to see. People will always see. Jesus Christ came to die for the world. What happened? Did anybody stop, even till today, till tomorrow? All the people that are doing what they're doing, the past government tried what they could, both at state and federal level. The current government is trying at state and federal level. Those that want to speak evil will speak evil. Those that want to speak good will speak evil.
So what's important is that we are focused.
But be focused. Let your conscience judge you. But a lot of the people that are doing what they're doing, they don't care. That's the problem, that they really do not care. They don't build structures that will outlive them. I've had conversations with some people when they talk about policies and all. And I said, I'm a bit confused with what you're saying, because you're saying that you want to build a legacy. And at the same time, you're talking about how it will truncate at the end of your tenure. Mm-hmm. So how do you reconcile? Because legacy is something that outlives you. So if you're not talking about what will outlive you, and then you're not building a legacy. So we need to have those understandings.
So all you're doing is just to protect your political interest.
Just your interest, so that when you now say, well, this is this, and then nothing. So we come back to, how do we get on? Because people, it is what we sell to people. It's not so much as proper. People have to have that feeling that it exists. A lot of people, they just fly in and out of River State. They just fly in and fly out.
That brings me to the issue of something yesterday or thereabout. His Excellency the Governor of River State, His Excellency Wike rather, said that he was promising investors tax holidays to encourage them to come, and some people just go off the hook. What? There's no peace in the place. What are you, blah 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 blah, and all of those. So I'm like thinking, is it peace first before offering the tax holidays, or just do anything to encourage people to come, and anything to make people to come should be okay? Why should we have problems with that?
Tax. When you promise tax holidays, is tax holiday what will bring them in? Is it tax holiday that is allowing people to invest in other states? There has to be that knowledge that you're accepted, that what you're doing can live, that you can meet, because it's not just about tax. And then the tax holiday that you're granting the companies, those are incomes that will go to federal. The state level, you have to get your income from the individuals that live in the states. So if they come and they have their investments that are running and the people are not living in the state, they're flying in and out, they pay their tax, their personal income tax goes to their state of residence. So it's wherever they're living.
Because somebody said the other day that 50% of the taxes paid by oil companies go to Lagos State.
Because they're living there. Most of their big men are there. They just fly in and fly out. But the tax law says it's place of residence. So we need to find a way of encouraging them to live in the states. A lot of our people are selling their properties. They've put up their properties for sale. They say they're not interested in River State. If they're not interested in River State, so who is going to be interested in River State? So we need an ownership thing. And the ownership does not reside with the governor, does not reside with those that know the people. The governors and all are just people that have been empowered temporarily to help manage the affairs of the states. So they are accountable.
So they are more like soldier come, soldier go, barracks remain.
Yeah, but the way it is, barracks, we're not sure of the barracks anymore here because everywhere is going. Because the people that should sit, come what may, and say, look, you guys, this is not how it should go. Nobody is doing that. So we need to take ownership. It is not something that resides with. If you are a governor and he assigns you your beat, you should be able to stand up. Because I know one interesting thing, the oath of office is in the constitution. I didn't even know it was in the constitution, but one of the things you say that you swear to defend the constitution and certain things, but they take those oaths and nobody really sits back to do any of those things. So if a governor appoints you to do some job, work for him, and then you're there is the constitution, they are the responsibility that you ought to do, and you leave all those things and you want to satisfy one man or something, at the end of the day, when it crumbles, what happens? All you live your life doing is trying to justify yourself, and that does not work. But you sit up and know that you have a gate to watch over, that let the lights not go out while you are seated there. It's a call. It's a tough call. People will call you names, but when you do good, they'll call you name. When you do bad, they'll call you name. But be able to do good so that your land, because your land does not have a voice of its own, you are the voice of your land. So you need to be able to speak for your land, not speak for yourself. Those are the challenges we are having in these states. People are speaking more for themselves. The land gives you an opportunity and you speak for yourself. Most traditional rulers, most of this, you see, this violence that we're seeing, it is frustration that is causing it. Most of it. Everybody has that tendency to be good or bad. Everybody. But your environment gives you the opportunity to manifest who you are. So frustrations have set in. You go to some places, only the traditional ruler has lights, has road. That's the place that has money. Everything, every development in the state, all the companies there, his royalties are paid to him and he uses it for himself. They don't bother about all the other places. Everywhere is in darkness, everywhere is in filth. And people are getting angry and revolting.
So any little thing, they just
and then
express it.
Yeah. Then those other people have run away from the society because they don't want anybody to say anything about them. They tell you to keep quiet. Keep quiet, please, keep quiet. Because if they hear your voice, they come after you.
Still part of ownership problem.
Ownership. We need to have a conversation. Not everybody has to be a politician. Not everybody has to be a technocrat. But everybody is important. So we need to have a way of coming together. The professionals need to come together.
But the first thing first to move in River State away from the present state of morals is for people to begin to think, how do we have a conversation?
Yes, they should have a conversation
that is devoid of political
and the conversation
biases.
Is not to come together and abuse the government or abuse anybody. No, the conversation is to come and sit down and say, look, how do we build this bridge? How do we get ourselves moving forward? That is what the conversation is about, because the problems are.
But you and I agree with the fact that most people agree with the fact that there's a need for us to sit down and talk.
Let's talk. And
how do we orchestrate that? Because where we are now, we are in a state where you are either in A or you're in B. And if, for example, the governor of the state, His Excellency Wike, does anything that is positive, and you on the other side say anything nice about it, you're a traitor. And if you are working with the governor of the state and you say something nice about the immediate past governor, people here are seeing you as a traitor. So at what point can we agree to sit down? And whose responsibility do you think it is to orchestrate that process.
What you've started, you're doing something. You're on the right course. Wherever I find myself, whatever group I find myself, I speak. Right?
You're talking about discussions in small, yes.
No, it's group one by one by one by one. Even in the government there are people that are here and there are people that are willing to speak.
What is it holding them back from speaking? Because nobody's speaking.
Are people not speaking?
They're not.
You see, the thing is...
It's a case of we against them. That's what we're saying.
There's a we, but there's always some light. Once there's a bit of light, light will penetrate through and people will get to see. But we don't have to be discouraged. We know that the darkness is heavy, but light will always penetrate no matter how small. So what I'm saying is we don't have to go to the government, because as you're speaking, I choose to believe that some are listening, some are hearing, that there's a need.
Some are listening, some are hearing. Now what's the difference?
You know, when you're hearing that, it's going in. The other one is just like water pouring on a bottle.
So it's passing through one side and going out through the other way.
You know, but the thing is, they need to have an understanding that it goes beyond them. It goes beyond each of them. See, if you are doing it today for what you can eat, or you want to be named among certain group of people, who guarantees you tomorrow? Look, it's a responsibility. It's a responsibility. We can't shy away from it. We have a responsibility. I've seen a lot of people that I believed could do right. They failed me personally woefully. And whenever I have the opportunity, I tell them I don't care. I've lived most of my life in Lagos. I just came to do the assignment I was given to do. And now let me not say I'm stuck, but this is my state. And I tell myself that why would I run away from my state? Now that I'm back to my state, let me stay in my state and see how. I don't have to work in government. You give me an opportunity to come and talk here. Anywhere I find myself, I talk to people. Rivers State belongs to us. Let's see how we can. I'm not saying it because I want any government to come and call me to do anything. Because if you call me to come and work for you, you need to understand that I'm coming to work for the state. I'm not working for you as a person. I'm working for my state first.
That's a big challenge, because most of our appointees, public office appointees, and even those who are elected, do not see it as a responsibility they owe their people who elected them, who are appointed. They see more like I owe first and foremost the person who appointed me. That's the appointing authority.
Well, I didn't have that privilege of thinking that way. I am happy for the way I thought. I worked for my state. I came to work for my state. I agree
with you. But
and I'm not the only one. I'm sure there are people. So I'm not saying it because I know there are people. I would have made mistakes. They can make mistakes. But the thing is, you're working for your state. People need to work for our state. When you have traditional rulers, we have to have a way. When traditional rulers are not doing the right thing, there has to be a way of calling it on. Because traditional rulers, they don't own the place. But, there is respect that goes with it. But we need all those people. Because so far, I've not even seen any of them come out to try to see how they can call people together and rally things and get things around. Okay, there was one, that was Igbo land, where they came to do some prayers about the menace going on. But in our states, what is happening? All the institutions have been diluted. Everywhere, civil service everywhere has been fully diluted. No powers anywhere anymore. Why is that so? Because people are letting go of the responsibility that has been given to them. And one thing that holds me, and I say, and I know it's true for everyone, that nobody can be in a position of authority except it be given by God. Even if, as humans, you may not understand some of it. So first, that is the authority that they've been given, and they will hold account for it. But we need to look at our state. We need to understand that we have a responsibility, a duty to our states first, not pointing fingers. And we need to speak the truth when we see it. When we see things are going wrong, we need to speak for it. The condition is that there are laws. Nobody is willing to uphold all those things anymore. And then how do investors come in if they know that there can be a policy somersault the next day? Rivers State, I know there was something about Rivers State is meant to be something. During the 100 years, something was not last year or so.
Supposed to be the Texas
and somebody came and gave some presentations, and I was watching. I said that was my first time of seeing it. And like, people have such information. It's supposed to be there. Every government is supposed to be in government house. Every government that comes looks at it, says where are we meant to be, because the reality is where we are. And then since an incomplete narrative, you're moving on to the preferred place. But we're way from where we ought to be. But nobody is looking at that thing. What are they looking at? What are they looking at? Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is it. We need to keep our focus has to be on Rivers State. We are different, we are diverse and everything, but even in our diversity, there is strength. So everybody has a competence. We need to bring everything together. That is what is important. We know we have problems. There's nobody that doesn't have problems.
See, Ursula, my problem is still the fact that almost everybody understands that we have issues. Even the politicians themselves are not even happy with the state of affairs. Because I don't believe anybody gets into office to perpetrate evil. Maybe when they get into office, they are consumed by the environment and they just lose it. But essentially, they have some fantastic ideas. They have some reason why they want to be in office, make some difference. But when they get into the office, because of the lack of institutions, because I always tell people that it takes a lot, the grace of God and mercy of God, for you to be in authority and remain human. Because we come from a place where people worship people in office. So you have problems telling somebody, look, I don't think this you're doing is right. Or God go vex. Or God say, mandate. You have a commissioner for works, a commissioner for finance, whose responsibility is to manage the finance of the state. A contractor has done something. You're still waiting for God to say. So, besides just appreciating the fact that we'll have a problem, we need to do something definitive. But who are the people who will do that? Because you and I cannot. I won't say we cannot. You understand? But there's always that possibility that somebody, somewhere, either a Governor Wike, either a Rotimi Amechi, or either a former minister or a former governor, or somebody that has name recognition. What is carrying them?
You see, the thing is, if you cannot compel somebody else to do something, but if we can have a group of people that are not so dependent on government, because the fear is government will not. But if government understands that, look, I'm talking to you not because of what I can get from you, most times they have respect for you. But most of the people that go to talk to government are talking and hoping that, somehow, I gave you good advice, so you should be able to sort me.
The program is Democracy in Action. My name is Kingsley Wen, and my guest this morning is Osila Onenebari.
Osila Obele
Oshoko. Like I said, Osila. Let's stick with Osila. I'm sure that you can easily. Osila used to be the chairman of Riverside Internal Revenue Service. Right now, more like a free agent for the tax industry. And we're discussing what can be done to get back Rivers State. We agree, we know that the economy of this state is dying or is dead already. I was going to get back to her and ask her, because I think last week or thereabout, we had Lagos State government declare 101 billion naira revenue for just the first quarter. And I doubt if Rivers State will be able to make that kind of money in 2 years at the rate we're going. So what can we do so that we can operate at the same level? In the course of airing our view this morning, we mentioned that Rivers State we're not really against any state developing. We don't want Lagos State to be run down. Lagos State is part of Nigeria. We all go to Lagos, we have family in Lagos, we have friends in Lagos. But what we're saying is that we want a situation where Lagos State will be like the New York of Nigeria, and Rivers State the Texas of Nigeria. But as it were, we have Lagos, New York, Texas, Washington, you just name it, everything. While Port Harcourt every day is becoming the Harlem of Nigeria. You can join this discussion by calling the following number: 0815 5951 951, 0815 5951 951, 0817 000951, 0817 000951, 0810-9510951, 0810-9510951, or send your text messages to 0701-933-9962. 0701-933-9962. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Welcome to Democracy in Action. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Prince Henry.
Sorry, sir?
I said my name is Prince Henry.
Prince Henry. Prince, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very good.
Where are you calling from, please? Could you turn down either radio or TV in your place?
No, I'm not with any. It's my handset only. I'm not with any.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Good. Fire down, sir.
So thank you. Please let me just go straight. No?
Okay.
I want you to know that government should be all about people. Hello?
Yes, sir. We're here.
It's all about people.
Okay.
It's not all about an individual.
Okay.
So it is the perspective of anybody at all that is going into government to know what he supposed to, why he's going there, what is he going there for. But let me say the one very important point I want to make.
Okay.
If I were to be in government, I will tell you that people will know that government is not where you make money. They don't make money in government. They only pay you salary. But I find out that the government of Nigeria is where they make money, billions. By the time they are through, they are 4 years tenure, they are billionaires.
Okay, can I ask you a question, please, if you don't mind?
Please go ahead, yeah.
Do you reside in River State?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, River State, grew up in River State.
Okay, I don't want to know whether you're a Rivers person or not. What's important that you live here. Are you happy with sort of an economy here?
The economy of River State?
Yes. Are you happy with the way things are here?
All my childhood up till now, as big as I am now, I've not seen anything that is enticing in River State. As a matter, I'm not criticizing anybody. I'm not against anybody. No belonging to any political party or whatever.
Okay.
But I'm telling you what I feel that River State, the level of River State, I don't know. Our leaders, they are supposed to have, far sight. I don't even want to call it foresight. Far. They should even see far.
Okay, if you were elected governor of River State today, or you appointed the commissioner in River State to be in a position to make the difference, what would be your priority area? Look,
I'm going to demolish a lot of things here. We don't have roads. There's no road, something that is called, a better road, a smooth place, a smooth road to run. You don't see anything like that in the first place. And the point with government is that they do not know how to engage the people.
So what you're saying in essence is that government should try and engage the people.
Exactly. They make them to be active, make them to be, working. Look,
to claim ownership, government should make the people claim ownership, be part of the system, right?
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
When you are creating a leveling ground for people, you don't want to do the things to create. You go into construction, especially go into construction. Now that things are like this, even if you are not going to start to give out a white collar job, construction is very good.
Okay, what I think you're saying here is that we lost it. What I think you're saying here is that government should provide infrastructure. Yes, that is given. I think that the current government is doing its bit within the limits of funds available. But what we're looking at this morning is, yes, provision of infrastructure. I think what he's trying to say that if you had infrastructure, people will want to come and do business somewhere that is functioning, somewhere that is running, right?
Yeah, that's it. So at least when they do those things happening, they have activity. So people are engaged and, so.
Hello, good morning, sir. Oh, sorry, forget my chauvinist reaction. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah, okay, I'm fine.
Sorry, I called you in the program, and I want to think you're talking about the economy of the state.
Yes, sir. Your name or where you're calling from,
please? Thank you very much. And you asked the last caller.
Sorry, what's your name, sir? What's your name and where you're calling from?
I want to take it from there, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I'm not comfortable with the current economy of the state.
Okay, sir.
Over the years, we've been next to Lagos. I lived all my life in Port Harcourt, in River State. And I know that Lagos is now miles away from us. What is our positional advantage as River State in terms of economy? For me, our positional advantage is the rivers we have, and that's why we are called River State. How do we effectively utilize the rivers we have that surround us all over the place? And the best option is tourism. Tourism means we have to utilize our rivers to bring people in. For example, you can arrange cruise cruise tourism, which is not common in the country. But the problem we have is that we have ultra sensitive piracy on our seas. You can imagine moving from Bonny to Port Harcourt. The fear in the hearts of people who are traveling. So which rivers are we going to utilize? If the government, for example, comes in to say we are going to have a 3-story cruiser ship.
So what do you think is the problem? Because to say you want to have arranged for tourism, especially rivers driven tourism like cruise and all of those. What do you think government can do? What can government do to make that possible? It's just an idea that can be a standalone.
Exactly. No. The government can. If the government gets, I'm not saying government should enter it, but they will. If there is appropriate security, the basic problem we have in that security. That's why the companies are living in their droves. If you go to transformer, you have too much to let. That means the companies are moving. And that is not good for us. I think they're going to fail us. So what you know that we're making it sick that investors are doing that? That is what we have to repeat.
That's what I'm saying. That what do we have to do?
What we can do now in River State, for example, let me suggest it to the government of River State.
Okay.
Anywhere crime in whatever form, whether it is poisoning, whether it is robbery, whether it is kidnapping, the entire government should go there and make sure that thing is contained. The entire government, but if it means moving the entire River State police to something, move there and contain that situation. When the people on the other end, the criminals see that the force of the state is coming down on them whenever they engage in this, I can assure you that the only thing will be into the air.
Okay.
When this things happen, there appears to be no response. We should be growing as if it is fine business like kidnapping. That should end.
Thank you.
As much as we can, force the government to ensure that the security situation is not to remain. So we can talk about investment.
Thank you very much.
Anything we are doing will be a plan. If the security situation is not contained.
Thank you. Osla, I think he was just talking about, in very concrete terms, that whatever we're saying that has to be done would only mean something if the environment or society is secure, because nobody will come and do business, it's presumed, in an environment that is not secure. But again, some people have this argument. People are doing business in Iraq. People are doing business in Afghanistan. People are doing business in Syria. So why can't people do business in Port Harcourt?
Lack of ownership comes back to the same thing.
Okay.
Lack of ownership.
Because we're very quick to condemn.
You see, the other day, when we were saying investors should come in, and we said Port Harcourt is very safe, that all the things you're hearing are political gimmicks. And that same day, there were several killings that same day. Now, as a government or as a people, we can't afford to tell people lies, obvious lies. One thing is to say, look, we recognize that this is a challenge, we are addressing it, right? But we are assuring you that we are addressing these things. But when, there's an obvious situation in front, and you say they're all political gimmicks, maybe the person you're even talking to has just lost somebody.
And you're just more like...
And you're just saying...
It's a non-issue.
It's a non... No, that's not it. That too comes back to its ownership, because somebody, you have to be responsible and take it on and say, look, we are addressing it. And not just say you're addressing it, you actually go out of your way to address it. It's not just mouthing it. That's why I like the little picture on the program, this thing you did. Okay. So beyond discussion, you have to act, because they said actions speak louder than words. So when you're acting and you're seeing it happening, then we know. So ownership is still lacking. We need to take ownership. Someone needs to understand. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Hello? We lost that. Somebody needs to take ownership. I will have people complaining about propaganda against River State. But again, you get to find out that most of the bad mouthing is from Rivers people. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from, please?
I'm Lucky. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Yeah, please, your contribution or question.
I want to thank you for this program this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for the enlightenment. Thank you for free. So I want to let you know, for making a place conducive for people, and for security, just like what the madam is saying here, it's not by talking. This action. And it's like a student who after the teacher just finished the school, have an exam and went home to sleep. They start reading. How do you think you pass? Today, the insecurity in this River State is a business. Everybody wants to become the head. These political parties are not helping us, and these politicians too are not helping us. It makes people cannot come into the state and invest. These oil companies around, they are all on the way. Like before, somebody was saying, all the next profiles are in River State, but they have gone back to Lagos. Because of why? Insecurity, kidnapping, and all these things. And why these are not doing jobs. I don't know jobs, they are jobs. Like you know, you ask the first caller, if you make me a governor or commissioner, what will you do? Like me, I'm telling you, I read environment. Look at the environment, very polluted and dirty. Then you go to Transamadi, that's a slaughter site. Well, brother, you can't come there. The place is dirty, crazy. We deal with representation in River State. We say River State is more dirty. I don't know if you have observed it before. Our road, the Aba road, they don't promote you on a major road. And these young people come in. They want tourists in River State. And the major road in River State. Getting is being done. Every 2 minutes, you see dump. Every day, getting. No infrastructure.
Thank you, Lucky.
I would like to go, the government is ready. Environmental. To make the environment clean. You're going to be looked for again, like Port Harcourt Garden City again.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Lucky. You see, what he just said is at the heart of the question I asked the last time before a call came in. People still do business in Iraq, people still go to Syria, people still go to Afghanistan, Pakistan, people are doing business there. So it's not just about peace. For example, like the last caller mentioned, like Lucky mentioned, you go to somewhere, at least the ones that we can do without foreign investors, like making the city very friendly and warm. We don't need investors to make our roads clean, do we?
No. It's your thing.
So it's not about investors, really. Do your own bit before you talk about investors. Are we doing our own bit?
You know, I just remembered something. You know, when I started my work at Internal Revenue, each time the former governor saw me, anyway, in a congregation, once his eyes just made contact with me, he said, Board of Internal Revenue, thieves. You guys are all thieves. You know, and I'll just smile. And I get back to them and I say, you know what? Then we have a reputation out there. We need to correct. And I said, look, we have to correct it. And by the grace of God, we worked on it and created that. We tried with block loopholes, we did certain things to ourselves and did something, and the public thereafter, after about several months, when he sees me, once he just say, look, you guys, are you paying your tax? The talk has changed. I didn't get upset that he was calling. I wasn't there when the stealing was taking place, but then I had a responsibility to make and I didn't have to say maybe send a message and say, will you stop, or walk out and say I'm getting angry. But that was our reality at that point in time, and we needed to move out from it. And we got to a point where we tried to make ourselves as transparent as possible and have people come back to us and say, look, be willing to pay their tax. So working on that. So that is the thing. You accept the reality, that you take it in, and then you work on it and address it. Try to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, we're running out of time.
People are running
away. We're running out of time. Yeah, I need to deal with the issue of propaganda. Right? Something that you're very passionate about too. We claim that there's a gang up against us. People are, but again, if you look at the social media, if you look at the media, the things that come out from the mouth of Rivers people are enough to discourage people from coming to do business here. Do you agree with that or not?
I agree with you. And a lot of those Rivers people are not in Rivers State. That's a sad thing. They sit in Lagos, sit outside the country, sit in various places and spread hate messages all over the place. So they're the ones working against.
I talked to somebody who says, Kema, what are you doing in Port Harcourt?
You know?
As if you just want to pick people off this. Yeah, things are bad. But we are not even helping with the way we are talking.
We are not. We hate ourselves.
So one big move we need to make is for us to say, okay, we need to do something.
we need to do some. But I want
for Rivers State, not against Rivers State.
But I need us to also recognize that that's why the Bible says where 2 or 3. If I find one person, so it doesn't have to be multitude. We start with bits, little by little, because the people, you check the names, because some people even have to go and check their profile, whether they're really Rivers people, but most of them are not even here. They're the ones that speak against this place. How will you see people outside speaking against us that way?
Do you agree with the fact that we part of our problem, the way we speak, the way we talk?
Yeah, but I think it's
because even here, Democracy in Action, we're always talking about how bad things are.
Language.
So we're equally guilty.
Absolutely, but
absolutely, that means I'm guilty. Look me in the face and say that.
But I think the major responsibility, personally, my opinion, lies on the government. Why I say this? I'm a Lagos guy through and through. I mean, my birth certificate says Lagos State. Okay, and I noticed something. I grew with Lagos State. I was with Lagos State when Lagos State was terrible.
Me too.
Yes, when the armed robbery confrontation was, everybody run into your homes. Thank you. Everybody run into your homes so that stray bullets don't hit you. It was between Operation Sweep and armed robbers. Whoever kills the most wins. That was the situation then. But even when Tinubu was governor, things were not superb. Rivers State was like Miami in the eyes of Lagosians. Oh God, Garden City, you walk on the streets, there's money everywhere on the streets. That was the perception we had of Rivers State as at that time. But Lagos State knew something, all right, or they learned it the hard way. They were trying to fight some certain things in the state which they could not defeat. For example, thuggery, the known Agberos then. They couldn't take them off the street. So what they did was, all right, let's come to a middle ground. You work for us, you make money for us, we give you percentage, you put on uniforms representing Lagos State, and you will not break these set of rules, which they agreed on. It started from Tinubu's era, and it moved over into Fashola's era, and they became an institution on their own. Moving away from that, the issue of traffic offenders, right? Tinubu could not deal with them. Fashola
built on what Tinubu started.
Yes, built on what Tinubu started. Remember, let's also not forget that Fashola started up the BRT process. Tinubu rather, all right, came up with a concept. Fashola implemented it 17th of March 2007. Can't forget it because my birthday, all right, so that day is remarkable. And he did that, launched the process, and as it is right now, Ambode is what's the word now? Revolutionizing the process. So now the point is this. She said something very, very key. Lagos State has an agenda, it has a plan, and every governor who comes into that state keys into it.
Whether he likes it or not.
Because
that will be the basis for which he will be judged.
Now this is because the people of Lagos State. Okay, I do remember. I'm sure you can attest to this. When Ambode became governor, he was under immense pressure. There was this threat of him being thrown out of office in 3 months in office.
So I was trying to distort some things.
And Lagosians went up.
Like, Fashola left us here, taking up beyond this and all that. And they had no option than to sit
up.
And now look at this. Lagos State was offered $1 billion by Japan. Just because they signed up a deal with Yamaha by Japan to build a monorail for them.
The Marina Ikoyi Lekki.
Yeah.
Now, how many places do you get another country offering you
a state
or offering a state money to do that? That simply tells you that as a government, they saw the problems, told themselves the truth, because see, Lagos people are on the minority. The true people of Lagos.
I'm going to interrupt you here because for me, what it says, is the fact that the Japanese government believes that whether somebody leaves or he's there, their business is secured.
That is it. There has to investors need to have that assurance. They don't have it right now. Because there could be politics.
So it's not just about providing an enabling environment in the vacuum. You should show that you're providing an enabling environment.
And just to finalize what I'm saying now, look at the political system in Lagos State. We have APC, PDP, APGA in the current administration and the previous administration, and other political parties. But when it comes to the Lagos agenda, everybody throws away their political.
It's not about Lagos agenda right now. I don't even hear anybody talk about APC, PDP in
anymore.
Lagos State.
That's the thing. It's now the governor.
Everybody is there.
So
Some people have forgotten who ran for PDP against Ambode.
But let's not forget how Lagos State got to this point. There was a reorientation consciously by the government. How they stopped negotiations from throwing things on the street, or they reduced it drastically, was that, okay, there was the first end to it, and there was also the part that keep Lagos clean. If you don't, this is what is going to happen. And we saw a governor start planting trees, and eventually we saw government take responsibility, and people had to reciprocate.
We used to have, this is Port Harcourt.
Your last word.
Let's own our states. Let's own our states. Let's own our states. Let us, each and every one of us, commit to the state. I know that the government is hearing us, so let them lead, because right now we have entrusted them with Rivers State for now. Let them do. Let the leaders, wherever they are, get up together and run this place, because Rivers State must overcome this situation.
Thank you. I think on that note, I need to remind us that this state belongs to all of us. Nobody should invest more time in destroying Rivers State. It's not just about the politicians. Even when talking about matters affecting us, the way and manner we say them, like our guest here has said this morning, people stay far away from Rivers State and implant hate in the minds of our people. If we must discuss issues affecting us, why don't we look at the language? And for those who are in a position to do something, I just say one thing to you. You're not going to be judged about how well you protected PDP or APC. You'll be judged about what you contributed to Rivers State 10, 20 years down the line. Today, everybody talks about Spiff. Spiff. It's how many years after Spiff left office? I can feel free to say Spiff because we all feel that we're part of it. You're like you're talking to your father. There are no airs about it, or even about him and the way he goes about his movements in this state. Wherever he steps in, everybody remembers Spiff rather. Why don't you want to do things that 20 years down the line, people will remember you?
I'm glad.
Yes, that Cayman, the former governor of Rivers State, and they're happy to see me. It's not about insulting the governor of the state. It's about criticizing the government, and even the governor gets to know you're doing it in good faith. I have some text messages that were sent here in the course of this program. If you're the one, sorry, I can't read such text messages because they don't help us. What we need is for us to start a conversation that will take us to the next level. When people keep talking about Rivers State, just the way we're talking about Lagos State, it's instructive that a serious government, like the Japanese government, can get into a business discussion, agreement, and transaction with a state. $1 billion is not moi. And then,
yes, sir.
Thanks for coming around this morning.
Thanks for your privilege.
I can assure you that your perspective to this narrative will be well received. I believe it will be well received. I mean, I thank you for being as usual. But my name is still Kingsley Wanendawali. But like I said yesterday, or this morning rather, think more of Rivers State. And I'm sure you'll be proud of Rivers State that you will live for your children. God bless you and have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you same time, same station, God willing. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye. Good afternoon.